Okay, all right. I know. I said Pain Warlock wasn't good, but then a better player ended up winning the Masters Tour with it. What do you want from me? This just goes to show that when you think a deck is unplayable, someone will win a tournament with it, and then suddenly everyone starts playing it. In typical Clark HELLSCREAM fashion, I have to say that I am sorry and that I was wrong about the power of Pain Warlock, but it honestly is a deck that teeter-totters on being completely busted and being completely unplayable, and that's really where the balance of this deck comes in. And honestly, unless you are a Masters Tour competitor, most people are probably not going to be able to figure out how exactly to play this deck, but the whole reason why I'm even familiar with the deck that I am playing right now is because I saw uikYou win the Masters Tour with his version of Pain Warlock, and the version of Pain Warlock that is the most common on ladder right now is actually a version that is very, very close to his version of the deck. But this is one version that you can play if you really want to try out Pain Warlock and if you have Sheriff Peril Rim in your deck. But the differences between this deck is that there is a Sheriff and an extra Cult Neophyte in this list, when really I want to show you guys the power of the Fellstring Harp. I really do believe that one thing that has been holding back Pain Warlock has been it hasn't had enough healing in the deck, and well, now we finally have enough healing to actually enable these sort of synergies and not just die immediately because we want to try and get our Molten Giants as quickly as possible. But obviously, in order to play our Molten Giants, we need to have 10 life, so we have to play Blood Treants, we have to play Malefic Rook, we have Spirit Bombs in order to deal damage to ourselves, and honestly, we have other ways of dealing damage with ourselves thanks to the Symphony of Sins, but also thanks to Celestial Projectionist in case we need to copy another Blood Treant, for example, in order to get our Molten Giant on the field as quickly as possible. But most of the time, you want to use your Celestial Projectionist in order to copy extra copies of your Molten Giant or your Imprisoned Horrors, because they most of the time are going to be 0 mana. And even though Demon Hunters are no longer on the ladder, or at least their numbers are definitely decreasing, Glacial Shard still makes its way into this deck because it is a great tool on being able to stall your opponent and to like make these gigantic boards freeze a minion, essentially skipping that minion's turn. So it's a really useful way of trying to just buy some time, and you do need to tax your opponent with either stalls from the Glacial Shard or Cult Neophyte spell taxes as well as Speaker Stompers. Now, if you really want to, you could go ahead and trade out one Speaker Stomper for a Cult Neophyte, but the main reason why Speaker Stomper is in this deck more frequently is because you want to use this to stop the Nature Shamans. This card just absolutely counters Nature Shaman in every single way, because most Shamans are not going to be playing double Flash of Lightning, and even if they do, their spells are going to cost normal, so unless they have Jazz Base equipped and have played double Flash, they are not going to be able to survive the Speaker Stomper disruption. And that's just really what this deck is trying to do. It's just trying to do its thing quickly and then set up a gigantic turn of gigantic minions and then have some sort of disruption getting in the way, whether it be the Glacial Shard, the Cult Neophyte, the Speaker Stomper, or even in some instances playing a Symphony of Sins in order to make a gigantic minion that your opponent just has no way of dealing with. Now obviously Death Knights are going to be a little bit tricky because they have poisonous minions, and mirror matches are definitely going to be all about who can get the gigantic minions first. And as of right now, the most popular decks that I'm seeing on the ladder are Zarimi Priest, most Death Knights like Rainbow DK and Plague DK. Unfortunately, I'm seeing Plague DK still. They're seeing a lot of Pain Warlock mirrors as well as Nature Shaman. But this deck is actually very good against Zarimi Priest, which is why it saw a lot of play on the first day of the balance change to Demon Hunter. But regardless, Pain Warlock is actually a legitimate strategy that is getting very popular now. But one thing that I should say before you start playing this deck is that uikYou technically brought this deck in order to be favored into the previous tournament lineups. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure he was going with the banned Demon Hunter strategy. So now that Demon Hunter has been effectively banned from the ladder, there is some real synergies and some real potential for Pain Warlock to actually dominate Hearthstone. But like I said, this is one of those decks where you have to watch out and make sure you don't get too lost in the sauce, because God forbid you deal too much damage to yourself and now your opponent has a legitimate way of order to lethal you down. But if Wheel Warlock is not going to be the best Warlock deck in the game, then Pain Warlock really does have the potential of being the best deck in the game, just because it has a lot of bombastic turns. And in this meta, it just really seems like it's all in on scams. And kind of to prove my point, like there's this deck that plays the Molten Giant, there's the Scam Rogue that plays a bunch of giants with like, you know, the Cycle package, and even a Paladin deck with flooding minions and playing Showdown into Sea Giants is starting to resurge, and I'm going to be looking into that deck to see if it's a real thing. But scam or be scam seems to be the mantra of the meta, and if you aren't scamming people, well, then you're losing Hearthstone games. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out the Patreon if you want to get extra perks and bonuses for supporting the content, like getting deck optimizations, coaching, as well as shout shoutouts in future videos. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this painful deck intro, and we'll see you for the next video. A volcano can be warm, I suppose. All right, here we go. Pain Warlock mirrors, right? They should, but they aren't. We just got harder quests. They didn't replace things, did they? If they're replacing things, then oh shit. Then oh no. Then there will be a Zeddy video talking about it. Because that doesn't seem fair. It don't seem right. Am I just gonna keep tapping? Guess I'm just gonna keep tapping. Do we ever just Cult Neophyte? No, we have to just tap. The reason we tap is because we can tap into double 2-drop into, or into double, Horror into Neophyte. And then we can maybe set up a Symphony. They adjusted some quests to make them harder and grant more experience, but they did the first part. So oh, okay, so there's an issue. They wanted to adjust the quest to make them harder, but they fucked up, is what I'm hearing. It sounds like somebody screwed up. In fact, instead of playing Cult Neophyte, I'm just gonna Tempo King the board. All right, there we go. Hopefully this wins the game. I heard you like Hearthstone. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Depends on if I'm winning or if I'm losing the game, in all honesty. If I'm losing the game, then the game needs to be, you know, it needs to be, you know, we need nerfs. We need some changes. I know we just gotta change right now, but you know, if I lose to this Warlock and as well as losing to the Priest, then clearly we gotta nerf these decks, dude. Clearly we gotta nerf these decks. And there's no way that he got the card, otherwise he would have turbo slammed it. I'm not getting BM'd, right? If he got the deal 6, he would have played the deal 6 immediately. There we go. Don't you dare scare the children like that. I'm sad now. I don't know what deck to play. Everything seems bad after playing Demon Hunter for a month. Dude, play Zarimi Priest. Trust me. Zarimi Priest actually freaking insane. All right, so, I do not have 1 damage, but I do not need 1 damage. I can just Tempo King and put him to 1. There's nothing you can do with Giants, right? Like, I played the board first, therefore I win. Clearly our skill remains consistent. Its opponent's cards deck lists are too good. Yeah, dude, seriously though, like Zarimi Priest is like the video that I just posted today, give it a watch. It's the Forged Zarimi Priest, and it's like, I legitimately thought it was way better than Demon Hunter already. The only thing that Zarimi Priest really couldn't beat the Demon Hunter coin weapon into turn 3 shopper. And now that that's gone, we have a better chance of winning. Boom! I am the superior Pain Warlock. Wait, hold on a minute. That wasn't even Pain Warlock. He played Doomkin. Never mind. That was just over from the beginning. Do I think Wheellock can beat all now? It definitely can't beat Pain Warlock if Pain Warlock pops off. Like, honestly, I should have played one of the tax cards. If I played like a Neophyte, don't I just win? Don't I just win? Don't I win the game if that happens? Zarimi Priest needs some knowledge to play properly, though. I really don't think it takes... Okay, the hardest part about Zarimi Priest is not playing the curve, it's finding lethals. You can start by playing the deck as a Tempo King, and then as you gain more experience with the deck, you'll notice that, like, oh, because like board locking yourself and knowing when to trade and when to buff HP is super important in the deck like that, you know? It's all about how you can trade. What's the point of Glacial Shard on the deck now? So in this deck in particular, you deal a lot of damage to yourself, right? Glacial Shard is just a great way of locking out a minion for 1 mana. So even though Demon Hunters are out of the meta, I still think Glacial Shard would make its way into this deck strictly because we are a Pain Warlock and we're doing a lot of damage to ourselves. So like stopping like a weapon swing from trading to our board at the right time, it's just to make the opponent more uncomfortable. And I think that's probably the way that you have to play this deck, right? Knowing when to tempo so you do not over tempo, knowing when to over commit and when to ODK. That is also true. That is also true. And it takes a minute to learn that, but sometimes you just gotta play with the cards that you're given. Playing Hearthstone on a budget is hard. Crafted Wheel and it's not as great as everyone said. Either that or I'm just bad. Now I'm trying to find a new deck. So here's the thing about Weird Warlock. Weird Warlock is a good deck, but at the lower ranks, it gets a lot worse. And the reason why is because when you get the lower ranks, you're going up against more decks that are all or nothing aggro and tempo. And if you are not playing perfectly as a Wheel Warlock, you are definitely throwing percents, but you're also just going into an unfavored metagame. Wheel Warlock might get better. I wouldn't give up on it yet, but that's the reason why you feel like the deck is functionally not working. Is because everyone is like, oh my god, this is the best Warlock deck ever. Everyone wanted Wheel Warlock to be like freaking insane, right? But it's not. And now people are like, wait a minute, I thought that everyone told me the deck was like the Turbo Nuts. And it's like, it's good, but it's not like best deck in the game good, like by any means. By no stretch of the imagination is it that good. Okay, so we play this over the minion because I don't want to lose my board and I'd rather make a double minion. Oh my god, is he playing Owl? Wait a minute. Kind of scared dealing this much damage to myself, not gonna lie. Oh. Button Druid seems fun. No idea if it's even remotely viable, but it looks fun. I'm not gonna lie, there's an Armor Druid deck that I want to make. I want to go all in on just the Armor Hero power and don't play Groovy Cat. I think that that's a better way. Like playing like a tank Druid is how I would call it. I want like a tank Druid to be good. Just push the button where it's like tank up, rank up, but on crack.
Nature speaks through my tunes.
So Symphony is simply the worst play. Ha, simply the worst play. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god, do we just do it? I'm not happy. I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy. This guy's gonna have like burst out of nowhere. Win 15 games is truly hard now. Play Zarimi Priest. It'll take a while. Very time consuming now. Oh yeah, the hero power is fucking. Oh my god, that's 6 damage, bro. Oh my god, no way.
We've created a temporal anomaly.
Hold on. Did this just win? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Clark is cooking? Nah, bro. I'm just, you know, I'm following the recipe right now. This is the uikYou deck. The Fellstring Harp. Oh my god. The Fellstring Harp. I'm gonna survive, right? No way I'm fucking dead. Oh my dear god, no way. No fuck. 1 HP? 1 HP, bro! If my Zilliax had lifesteal instead of +1/+1, we would have won. Okay, maybe the meta call. Maybe the meta call is to make the Zilliax lifesteal now. The tendies kept failing me, but more so my opponents just had the nuts. All the red. Oh my god. But wait a minute, they're 100% kept. Why? These are the cards to keep. Why is it judging these cards so badly, man? Do I know when the mobile patch will release? I would argue, or I would recommend actually, if you're waiting for the mobile release, then you should follow Ridiculous Hat on Twitter, because he's usually the one that tweets as soon as it's available. So that'd be my my suggestion. Summons coming out with the Prime. Yo, thank you for the support, dude. Welcome to the Horde, my friend. Thank you for joining our ranks for the very first time. We're that much closer to 420 now. We're gonna get the 420 today. I can feel it. All right, so I'm gonna do this strictly because I want to dominate the board. And I want to trade into this to deny him the damage on his turn. So that way the horror doesn't get discounted, and also so I can cleanly play the rook. When I want to play the boy. Oh my god, this is a whole lot of nothing from my opponent. Projection. All right, there we go. Perfect. Num 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 num. All right, so the more damage I deal to him, the less damage he can deal to himself, right? I still got to worry about like giant plays, I think. But unless he like turbo slams a bunch of stuff, like my oh, it's just wheel again. Huh? Okay. So this into this. Aw, I see a play. Who sees the play? I got a pretty good play that I can do next turn. Pretty decent. All right, so we Spirit Bomb. Ow, it hurts, but it's okay. We Molten Giant, copy the Giant, play Cult Neophyte, win the game. The only thing I have to worry about is Loken, but don't say his name. I know I just said his name, but don't say his name. You know, if one of you guys say it in chat, then he'll emerge. Vampire, why? Why would you do that? We took an unnecessary chance. It went from a 0% to a 1%, but that's a pretty big 1%. Just don't say it 3 times. Hey, dude, not playing the Forge was actually better, because if we would have had Rush, he could have potentially double cleared. I pushed the Diamond 5 for the first time with Zarimi. Yeah, Zarimi's kind of nuts right now. Like literally, Zarimi is going to be so popular that we're going to have to correct for it. Like, instead of countering Demon Hunter, we need to counter Zarimi, and I really don't know how we counter this deck. Outside of, you know, keeping it off the board and having high HP. Because, like, Rainbow DK is the answer to Zarimi Priest if they have the removals. Kind of like what happened last game. If you just have, you know, double threads when they play all their fucking, their tempo, they can't win. Answer me this, Clark. Have you ever seen Habu and Beelzebub in the same room? I don't think I can confirm nor deny that statement. Doesn't Warrior have shit ton of removals? It does, but that's not the answer to Zarimi, because you can still OTK. You can outplay the Warrior's removal by not playing minions and just tempoing and making things awkward, forcing them to remove the boards that they don't want to. That's how you win those matchups. All right, I hate to do this. With Leroy, Zarimi can only do like 45 damage, so you can control them with a little bit of healing. Wait, you mean with Zilliax Leroy, right? That would be Zilliax Leroy plus Drifters. And I still don't like Leroy. Realistic OTK is like 25. Yeah, it's really hard to deal 30, but it's very easy to do like 20. All right, so I'm not playing this yet. I will wait to play this, and then I'll play a big giant when it's time. More lists I see don't play Leroy. See, the reason why they're not playing Leroy, and I explained this in my video, the reason why I personally like Glowstone more than Leroy. Leroy's only used to kill, you know, to have lethal. You never want to trade with Leroy, and if you do, it sucks. You could play Glowstone as a trading tool or like as a sustaining tool. The lifesteal goes omega hard, and the 5 damage is great, especially if you kill a minion. Like, if your opponent has a 6/5 on the field, let's say they just had the Shopper, and they have nothing else. You kill the Shopper, you get rid of the 6/5, you heal 5, and you pressure a 4/4 that also still has lifesteal. That is such an insanely huge swing in tempo. Massive, actually. Freaking crazy good. Speaking of crazy good, this is about to be disgusting. But Clark, you can copy Leroy with Amon Thul. Okay, that also means that you do the Zarimi turn. Or you do the Zarimi turn and play Amanthul with a Leroy already on the field, or like the other way to do it is like Amanthul sticking. Like Amanthul can't stick, and yes, there is the copy with Leroy, but those are the only 2 ways of killing with Leroy. And again, that proves my point. You only play Leroy when it kills. You don't need Leroy a lot of the time. And there are funnel cakes. I just don't think that Leroy is the absolute best. It is a way of playing the deck, and it is very strong. But there are some metas where Leroy's not good. There are some metas where you need the Hearth, and there might be a meta where the Ignis and the Forge package might just be better. greed the funnel cakes and magical things happen. I mean, I usually greed the funnel cakes every single game. Wait, hold on a minute, dude. This is a Pain Warlock turn. Wait a minute. Wait, am I just gonna fucking die? Wait a minute, am I just gonna die? Oh my god, I didn't do the board space. Oh, I thought I had the board space for it. Oh, I'm bad. Oh, I'm bad. Never mind. This is not what I wanted. All right, fingers crossed I'm not dead. I mean, at the same time, how am I dead? He hasn't played enough dragons. I feel like this is fine. Yeah? Oh no, funnel cake. There's only 3 dragons being played right now, but he's playing the Starlight Whelp. This is a way older list. Leroy could have done it, but Glowstone also could have done it if he had funnel cake, and he does have funnel cake. Or would he? 2 minions? No, Glowstone wouldn't have done it. Damn it, I can't argue that point.
Everyone, stay in sync.
Oh, come on, no way. I will admit, Habu's list does not run the Dreamboat. And Dreamboat can have some insane turns. But I still like Glowstone more. Like, the main reason why I like Glowstone more than this is, like, kind of like what's happening right now. Where it's like, if I outboard you very quickly, then you just lose the game. I lost so many ranks, what happened? Lol.
We've created a temporal anomaly.
He didn't have Leroy. He's not gonna have it this turn. Funnel cakes are gone, so the mana cheat is gone. Not enough dragons have been played. Oh wait, shit. 1 mana dragon into Zarimi would technically do it, but I can't play around that anyway. Ogre Warrior would have won this by now. Triple Zilliax incoming. Zilliaxes would also be a problem. I mean, I have to play it this way, right? If I trade, then I can't kill him next turn.
Water.
Like, he would have been at 27 if he sets up a taunt, or if he kills a minion, then I wouldn't be able to kill him. Like, this is the only way to maybe get there. Wait, but I have rushers from the Forge coming out next turn. This is fine. We win the game. Yeah, it would have been a painful trade into the 1/4. It wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have done anything. And now we just win. Because the Forges are online. Yoink and yoink. And for good measure, 6 to the face. Of course it buffed the minion I already attacked with.
Well played.
Whew. Yeah. Alright, yeah, Pain Warlock might be the answer to Zarimi, but at the same time, that guy was playing a bad list with the Starlight Whelp. The Twitter post was fantastic, and the fact that I was able to edit a video for it, yeah, that was a fun day of Hearthstone. I don't know if you were able to get, like, any insane clips like I did, because I know that you played it for a while. But, oh my god, dude. I was able to not only make a video about it, but it's probably going to be the first clip that I make for my next Trollden video. Or for my next troll scream, I should say. I went 2-11 testing it. Dude, I went 3-8. I went 3-8, so I'm a better priest player than you now, Micaiah. How's that feel? How's that feel? You might be better at Zarimi priest, but I'm better at the better priest. The more important priest to be better at. I'm sorry, but scoreboard. When I sent it to you, I'd only played it on casual, and then I immediately took it on ranked and then got a W with it. I'm actually a Giga Chad. I'm not gonna lie, man. That gave me so much self-esteem. You just gave me so much self-esteem, dude. Seriously, thank you. At least he's not playing the skin that tortures me when he's playing against it. Wait, what skin? You mean you like this skin? Cause it's got, you know, a nice booba. That's the real reason, right? Alrighty. The porcelain queen. I like the isn't there another one that's Scarlet? No, this one is Scarlet. What's the other one that I'm thinking about? Why isn't this deck running Reno? Because we're not trying to make it a turn 8 to play Reno. We don't want to play oh yeah, the zombie queen. The zombie queen. 1, 2, then this dies. I've got 7 damage. Sad that this didn't survive. Maybe I should have waited for the imprisoned horror. I mean, fuck it, we ball. Not terrible. If he has the answer, I'm gonna be upset, but... Okay, that's not the answer, but that's still pretty good. Also, yes, it is turn 5. And now we have Popgar to heal up and deal all the damage to the face. It's not lethal, but I should still do this to heal up. And yes, that was a really good turn 5 if I've ever seen one. Onga bonga, dude. Someone call 911, but not for me. That's like actually the definition of this deck. Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me. Well, I think I figured out how I'm gonna introduce this deck. I owe this deck an apology, apparently. I apparently owe it an apology. Yeah, it's like, here you go, deal with this. It's a very make it or break it deck. You either have the answer or you don't. Wait a minute, what? Yo, calm it down. Okay, interesting order. Oh, yeah! Yeah, let's go. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't think that was smart. Because he could have just traded the Reska into the 5/5. He could have stolen the 8/8 with Rush. The 8/8 with Rush could have traded into the Giant, and then I only had 2 damage, and then I was 1 damage off lethal. That guy should have just believed in the Reska, but he went for a worse line. But the power of the deck right there, boom.